Hey guys, and welcome back to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. And yeah, the N64 core for the MiSTer FPGA has received another awesome update courtesy of Robert Peip, the developer. So what you're seeing on the screen here now, there is a turbo version of the core out. So the bottom left of the screen, which is the smaller part of the screen, is the vanilla core running, and the larger screen, or the right hand side, you know, the bigger screen, that's the turbo core running. Now I've got the frames per second showing on screen, and you're going to see that in the vast amount, or the majority of the cases, the frame rate is higher on the bigger screen. I wanted to kind of run it side by side. Maybe my gameplay isn't identical. In fact, it isn't identical. I'm using different guns here, but guys, it's absolutely awesome, the progress that's being made. So we're now going in the realms of where the core is becoming better than hardware. Now, one thing I couldn't believe, I just can't believe how low the frame rate was for games on the N64. Now, given when I was playing the N64, I had absolutely zero issues with it. I enjoyed my experience with it every bit of the time. GoldenEye, as far as I'm concerned, it's one of the best games ever made. And it is just, simply put, it is just awesome. It still, to some extent, holds up today. The only thing that I have difficulties with is playing it with the old controls on the N64. But there's also a Patreon post that Robert has released, and if you want to support Robert over on Patreon, you can get some more details. I mean, the turbo core you can download for free. It's available on the MiSTer FPGA Discord. You can go and grab it now. That's where I grabbed it from. It's working really well. But if you want to read more in depth about the core and the work Robert has done, definitely check that out. Now, in a kind of nutshell, I'm not going to go over everything he says, but he mentions 3 games in his post. One of them, GoldenEye, that we're seeing here, and the result with the turbo core is we are getting 20 to 30% higher FPS, and you can definitely feel it. I mean, that's why I wanted to try both. I mean, at some parts the difference it's very high, and it's easily noticeable even if you don't have the frames per second counter on. But guys, honestly, the work Robert is doing, it's just amazing. I mean, does this guy ever stop? I'm wondering, is this the last core update we're going to get this year, or even is this the last one we're going to get before Christmas? Guys, honestly, it's awesome. Like, check it out. I say it every time, if you haven't tried the N64 core, you definitely should. I mean, it's just kind of hit that final form now where it's just getting more and more amazing. So there's a few games that he mentions. I wanted to kind of have a look at GoldenEye with a side by side, and then we'll have a look at another game side by side, and we'll kind of finish off with the third game he mentioned. So GoldenEye was one of them, and GoldenEye is one of my favorite N64 games, and that's why I wanted to have a look at it. But in regard to this core, Robert actually, where he's posted it over on Discord, he said special fast clocked core, about 28% higher clocks for CPU, RSP, RDP, memory. Don't report bugs, use only for your own risk and fun. So guys, if you are playing this, yeah, it's an experimental core. There's likely to be bugs in it. I mean, the 3 games that I tested, I didn't come across any bugs. Like GoldenEye felt like GoldenEye, just with a higher frame rate. Now, the weird thing is, playing, like, the memories I have for GoldenEye, I remember it being like butter smooth, but obviously what my expectations, or what I saw as butter smooth back when GoldenEye was current on the N64 was completely different. Now I'm a little bit of a snob where I kind of have to have everything running at 60 FPS minimum. But awesome stuff. This is brilliant. Let's kind of move over to the next game. We will do another little side-by-side comparison, and then we'll kind of round it up. But I felt like this was a big and awesome update, and I really did want to cover it. And guys, like, seriously, like, this core is awesome. If you haven't tried it, definitely try it. I'm on like the latest unstable version of the MiSTer main. I've grabbed the latest version of the core. So I've got 2 cores on my system at the moment. I've got the normal vanilla core, and I've got the turbo core. Obviously, well, you can kind of see that because I've got both of them running now, and it's definitely worth trying it out. I mean, I would say get both on there. You know, if something crashes or you're getting bugs on the turbo core, just run the vanilla core. But guys, try this out, man. It's just so good. I'm sorry if I feel, or if I sound a bit more rushed than I usually am. A lot of stuff happened. I'm trying to get videos out, then I've got to get my news video out. So if I'm buckling my words more than usual, I apologize. But I wanted to get this stuff out for you guys because, you know what, quite frankly put, it's awesome. Okay, so the same thing applies here. We are looking at Banjo-Tooie. Now, guys, if you're a regular on the channel, you know I absolutely suck at 3D platformers. So I didn't want to attempt playing it. All I did was I kind of ran the intro, and we can see the difference between the two. So, according to Robert's notes over on the Patreon, like I said, I'm not diving deep into the Patreon post. If you want to read the Patreon post, check out Robert's Patreon. But one thing he says on there is Banjo-Tooie runs much more stable at the 30 FPS goal, and it does a good job running that. It runs really well. So if this was one of your childhood games, I know a lot of people like this game, it runs well. Try it on a turbo core. Hopefully it won't crash for you. Hopefully you can play it all the way through, but remember, don't report bugs to Robert. And the final game that we're going to have a look at is Shadow Man. So Shadow Man has around 40 to 50% more frames per second, and as you can see, it's running, and it's running well. I think like 27 maybe. Okay, so while I was playing it, 27 was the lowest that I saw. Okay, 26 now that I'm kind of doing the voiceover. But guys, remember, we played at a low frame rate. I just can't believe that we played games and the frame rate was like 15 FPS on the N64. And guys, I don't remember having a bad time with it at the time. Like now, like I said, we're kind of fussy, we're kind of spoiled. You know, we've got higher refresh rates on our monitors. If we're playing a new PC game, we kind of want to push 60 minimum, 120, even higher. I mean, my current refresh rate on the laptop that I use for editing, the screen on that is like 300 hertz. I don't think I'll ever push anything unless I'm playing like an indie game, like maybe Horizon Chase Turbo. That is a racing game that I like, and it's not very strenuous on a system, so maybe I will check that out at some point. But that's it, guys. Robert work is amazing, honestly. Like, it's just fantastic. I'm tending not to do as many N64 videos, but this was just too big a thing not to do. You know, this is where we are accelerating beyond what original hardware could do. Now, I know if you're a purist, you might be thinking, no, you like it exactly the way it was because, hey, you have a lot of nostalgia for it. Yeah, I have a lot of nostalgia for some games on the N64, GoldenEye, Mario Kart, FIFA 98, Perfect Dark even to some extent, Blast Corps. So there was a number of games that I played and I thoroughly enjoyed. But you know what, I do like experimenting. I like some stuff in its original form, but man, like, the frame rate is low, so it is nice to get this boost. It is an experimental core, and you know, if you want to try it out for yourself, like I always say, there's always I'll leave a link to the MiSTer FPGA Discord in the description. You can put the core on your MiSTer, run the latest unstable version of the MiSTer operating system. I've got tutorials on how you can do that on the channel. I've not done one for a while, to be honest, but it's out there. It's very easy to do, and you could be enjoying N64 today. I mean, I can see this. I don't know when this will become a release contender and when you'll be able to get this via update tool, but I imagine it's going to be sooner rather than later. Like, honestly, it's just amazing where we are, and I think this is where I'll end it because I've got an Omen style crazy dog there. I'm not too familiar with this game. I thought it was going to come out and attack me, but instead, you know what, guys, I'm chasing the dog. But that's it. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, then, well, hey, a subscription and a like is super appreciated. Join the Pixel Cherry Ninja gaming Discord if you want to come hang out and chat. But that's it, guys. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.